Let's be honest, spending money feels easy, almost natural, but when it starts leaving your hands faster than it comes in, that's when financial pressure quietly begins building around you. It starts showing up in small ways, a little stress here, a quiet worry there, until one day you realize your income feels tighter and your financial breathing space is shrinking. The good news is, you don't need to stop enjoying life, and you definitely don't need to become a penny-pinching miser to start getting your finances under control. Today, we're diving into practical strategies that actually work, methods designed to save you meaningful money without draining your time, your energy, or your enjoyment of life. Before we jump into specific ways to cut costs, let's establish 4 fundamental principles, simple ideas that should guide every spending decision you make.
Key number 1. Live within your means. It sounds obvious, but it's one of the most important financial principles you'll ever follow.
2 people can spend the exact same amount every year yet live completely different financial realities, all because of one factor: how much they actually earn. If one earns more than they spend, savings naturally begin building. But if spending exceeds income, debt quietly starts accumulating, even when lifestyles look exactly the same. Here's a powerful tip: don't let other people's spending habits influence yours. Social environments can quietly push you into financial decisions you wouldn't normally make alone. Find activities with friends that don't revolve around spending. And if you do shop together, carry limited cash and leave your credit cards at home. Key number 2, look for the best values, because high quality and low cost can absolutely exist in the same product. But here's the trap: paying a higher price doesn't automatically guarantee better quality. Sometimes you're simply paying more for perception. Take cars as an example. Imagine comparing 2 used vehicles, one reliable but modest, the other flashy and slightly cheaper up front. But when you factor in fuel efficiency, maintenance, insurance, and long-term repairs, that cheaper convertible could end up costing you thousands more. The same principle applies in grocery stores. Brand name and store brand products often sit right beside each other, looking nearly identical. When you read the labels, you'll often find the ingredients are practically identical. The real difference? You're paying extra to cover advertising and branding costs. Key number 3, cut excess spending. Take a look around your home and notice how many things you own that you rarely or never use. Those unused items represent more than clutter. They represent wasted money and wasted space. Resources that could have been working for your future instead. Here's a powerful question. When was the last time you bought something that didn't deliver what it promised, and what did you do about it? Most people do nothing. They avoid confrontation, expect poor service, and simply accept the loss, letting companies keep their money. But when you stay silent, you're allowing companies to keep money for products and services that failed to deliver, and that quietly drains your financial strength. Key number 4, reject consumer credit. Buying items that lose value, using borrowed money, is one of the fastest ways to weaken your finances. Cars, clothing, even vacations. When purchased on credit, you're financing things that are losing value from the moment you buy them. And whatever you do, avoid rent-to-own stores. Their effective interest rates can exceed 100%, sometimes even 200%. That $100 product could easily cost you 3 or even 4 times more by the time you finally own it. In fact, rent-to-own interest rates are so extreme that even standard credit card interest can look cheap by comparison. Now, I know the word budgeting makes most people uncomfortable, almost like the word dieting. But budgeting isn't about restriction. It's simply planning your future spending based on the goals you want to achieve. Let's say you're not currently saving anything, and you decide you want to begin saving 10% of your income. If you contribute to a tax-sheltered retirement account, you don't actually need to cut spending by the full 10%.
because contributing to these accounts reduces the taxes you owe, which means part of your savings comes from tax reduction, not spending cuts alone.
So to save 10%, you may only need to reduce spending by about 7%, with the remaining difference covered through tax savings. And the higher your tax bracket, the greater the savings advantage becomes, meaning you may need to cut even less spending to save the same amount. And here's something powerful. Small spending cuts today can grow into massive wealth over time when invested consistently. For example, cutting just $1,000 from your annual spending may seem small at first glance. That's only about $83 per month, a relatively small adjustment in your day-to-day spending habits. But when that small monthly amount is invested consistently, earning around 8% annually over 30 years, the results become extraordinary. That $1,000 annual cut could grow into more than $100,000 over 3 decades. Now imagine cutting $3,000 or even $5,000 annually and investing it the same way. The long-term impact becomes life-changing. Let's get practical. Food is one area where most people can save significant amounts of money. Eating out is a luxury. You're paying someone to shop, cook, serve, and clean up for you, all in one experience. If you do eat out, be strategic. Skip the beverages, especially alcohol. Restaurants make enormous profits on drinks alone. Water is free, healthier, and won't leave you feeling sluggish after the meal. Choosing vegetarian dishes can often reduce your restaurant bill while also offering healthier meal options. Cooking at home gives you far more control over both cost and nutritional quality. You don't have to overspend to eat healthy. Buying seasonal produce and stocking up on sale items can reduce costs significantly. If you choose organic, prioritize produce that typically carries higher pesticide levels, like apples, berries, leafy greens, and bell peppers. For meat, poultry, eggs, and dairy, organic options help you avoid added hormones and antibiotics. Stop wasting money on bottled water. Installing a home filtration system can save you hundreds annually while providing cleaner drinking water. Joining a wholesale superstore can reduce grocery costs significantly, often by as much as 30% on identical products. In fact, you may only need to purchase a modest amount annually to recover the cost of the membership fee. Buying in bulk means fewer shopping trips, more supplies at home, and less temptation to eat out impulsively. But be careful. Wholesale stores are designed to trigger impulse purchases, especially when shopping with children. Housing often consumes the largest portion of your income, making it one of the most important areas to optimize. For renters, moving to a lower-cost property can immediately free up income for savings or investment. Sharing a rental property can dramatically reduce housing expenses while giving you more space for the same cost. When rent increases arise, don't hesitate to negotiate. Landlords prefer stable tenants over costly vacancies. Over the long term, owning property is often more cost-effective than renting, especially with fixed-rate mortgage payments.
While rental costs often rise with inflation, fixed mortgage payments remain stable over time, improving long-term affordability.
Before buying a home, understand what you can realistically afford without stretching your finances too thin. Avoid pouring excessive income into renovations and upgrades, many of which never fully recover their cost. Renting out unused space can significantly offset your housing expenses while generating additional income. Refinancing your mortgage when interest rates drop can lower monthly payments and reduce total borrowing costs. If your property is overvalued, appealing your tax assessment could reduce ongoing housing expenses, especially if surrounding properties are assessed lower. Improving energy efficiency through insulation, efficient appliances, and water-saving fixtures can reduce long-term utility costs significantly. Transportation is another major expense category where costs can quietly escalate if left unmanaged. Cars may be a necessity, but they don't need to become a status symbol that drains your finances. When evaluating a vehicle, look beyond the purchase price and factor in fuel, insurance, maintenance, taxes, and registration. Safety should also guide your decision, researching crash ratings and protective features before purchasing. Leasing and financing vehicles often cost more long-term than purchasing with cash because interest and fees accumulate over time. Buying a reliable used vehicle instead of a brand new one can significantly reduce purchase costs, insurance, and depreciation losses.
When you control spending across multiple areas of your life, savings begin compounding quietly, strengthening your financial future.
Remember the 4 keys. Live within your means. Look for the best values. Cut excess spending and reject consumer credit. Start small, stay consistent, and your future self will thank you. If you found this helpful, like, comment, and subscribe for more.